Hello and welcome. Today we are tackling a really interesting problem called delete columns to make sorted to. This is a medium difficulty problem that requires us to think about strings and sorting in a slightly different way than usual. Don't worry if it sounds complicated, we're going to break it down step by step together. Here's the situation. We are given a list of strings, let's call it strs. All of these strings have the same length. Our job is to delete certain columns so that the remaining rows are in lexicographic order. That's a fancy way of saying alphabetical order, just like in a dictionary. So row 0 should be less than or equal to row 1 less than or equal to row 2, and so on. We want to do this by deleting the minimum number of columns possible. Before we jump into examples, let's briefly clarify what we mean by lexicographic order, because it's the key to this whole problem. Think of it like a dictionary. If you have two words, you compare them letter by letter from the start. As long as the letters are the same, you keep moving to the right. The moment you find two different letters, the order is decided right there. For example, if we have apple and apply, the first four letters are the same. The difference is E versus Y. Since E comes before Y, apple comes before apply. This property is crucial. Once we establish that one row is strictly smaller than the next based on early columns, the later columns don't matter for that pair. Let's look at the first example. We have three strings, C, A, B, B, and A, C. Right now, are they sorted? Well, look at the first column, C, B, A. Is C less than or equal to B? No. So the first column definitely breaks the sorted order. We have to delete it. So if we delete that first column, what are we left with? We just have the second column, A, B, and C. Is A less than B? Yes. Is B less than C? Yes. The remaining rows are perfectly sorted alphabetically. Since we only had to delete one column to make this happen, our answer is 1. Now let's look at a case where things go really wrong. We have Z, Y, X, W, V, U, and T, S, R. Let's check the first column. Z, W, T, Z is bigger than W, so that's bad. W, T, W, T, W, T, W, T. What about the next column? Y, V, U, lexins. Again, Y is bigger than V, U. W, W, T, W, W, T, U, W, T, member T, U, procrami, R, cans. W, member T, U, R. Still not sorted. We have to delete this one too. In this case, we end up deleting every single column, so the answer is 3. Just a quick heads up. We'll be walking through the solution using Python logic, but don't worry if that's not your main language. The logic applies everywhere. I'll be showing the full code for Java, C++, and JavaScript towards the end of the video, so stick around for that. First approach we can take is a greedy one. The intuition here is pretty straightforward. Instead of trying to guess which columns to delete, let's flip it around. Let's decide which columns to keep. We start from the left. We try to add the first column to our answer. If adding it keeps our rows potentially sorted, we keep it. If adding it messes up the order, meaning some row becomes strictly larger than the one after it, we must delete that column. We do this one by one for every column. Okay, we've talked about the big picture and the logic. Now let's see what this looks like as actual code. I'll put the full solution up on the screen first. And don't worry, after that, we'll walk through the most important sections together. Here is the Python implementation for this greedy approach. We have our list of strings, and we iterate through each column index j. We build up a temporary list called cur2 to test if adding the current column works. Let's zoom in on the core loop. We maintain a list called cur, which holds the strings built from the columns we've decided to keep so far. Inside the loop, for each column j, we create a candidate list, cur2. We append the character from the current column to every row in our candidate list. Then comes the crucial check. We look at every adjacent pair of rows. If all rows are in lexicographical order, meaning row I is less than or equal to row I plus 1, then this column is safe. We update cur to be cur2. But if even one pair is out of order, we simply discard this column and increment our answer counter. Approach 1 works, but building those strings over and over is a bit slow. We can do better with approach 2, greedy with optimizations. The key insight is that we don't actually need to store the strings. We only need to know the relationship between adjacent rows. Remember the dictionary example. If row 0 is already strictly smaller than row 1 because of an earlier column, say apple vs banana, then whatever happens in the current column doesn't matter for that pair. They are permanently sorted. We only need to worry about pairs that are currently equal, like apple vs apply. Here's the optimized code. We introduce a boolean list called cuts. This list keeps track of which row pairs are already strictly sorted. Let's break down how we use it. Inside our loop of the columns, we first assume we can keep the current column. We iterate through all adjacent row pairs using I. We check two things. First, not cuts at I. This means, are these two rows currently equal up to this point? If they are already strictly sorted, cuts at I would be true, and we wouldn't care. But if they are equal so far, we must check the current characters. If the character at row I is strictly greater than the character at row I plus 1, we have a problem. The order is broken. We flag can keep as false, break the inner loop, and increment our deletion count. If we decide to keep the column, we have one more important step. We need to update our cuts array. We check our pairs again. If the character at row I is strictly less than the character at row I plus 1, it means we have established a strict order between these two rows. They are now cut or separated. We set cuts at I to true. Future columns will no longer need to check this specific pair, because they are sorted forever. So how fast is this optimized solution? The time complexity is big O of n times w, where n is the number of strings and w is the length of each string. This is because for each of the w columns, we do a linear scan of the n rows. This is much faster than the first approach. The space complexity is big O of n, because we only need that boolean cuts array to keep track of the state of our n rows. Alright, that covers the main solution in Python. As promised, for those of you who code in other languages, I'm about to show the full solutions for Java, C++, and JavaScript. I won't be breaking these down, so just pause the video on your language of choice to check it out. Alright, as promised, here is the full solution in Java. You can pause the video here to take a closer look at the implementation. Next up, here is the C++ version of the solution. Again, feel free to pause and review the code. And finally, here is the solution in JavaScript. Hopefully seeing it in a few different languages helps solidify the concepts. So let's wrap it up. We looked at two ways to solve this. First, we had the intuitive approach of building strings, which helped us understand the problem. Then, we optimized it by tracking the state of row pairs using a Boolean list. This second method is efficient and shows how keeping track of sorted status can save us a lot of work. Alright, before we go, I want to quickly show you a personal project I built to solve a problem that always drove me crazy. It's an app called My Daily To-Do. My biggest frustration with every other to-do app was retyping the same things every single day. Go to the gym, review code, work on the daily Leetcode problem. You know the drill. So I built my app around one simple but powerful idea: separating your routine tasks from your one-off tasks. Routine tasks, marked with the little refresh icon, automatically reset for the next day. One-off tasks, like ship new feature, get the little puff of smoke icon, and they disappear for good once you're done. This small change turns a dumb checklist into a smart scheduler. If that sounds useful, you can try it right now on the web. The link is in the description. And one more thing I want to make super clear. Right now, as a thank you for being an early supporter, the app is 100% free. There are no ads and no subscriptions whatsoever. This means you get access to everything, including really powerful features like presets, which let you save entire task lists and load them with a single tap. Now, down the road, creating new presets will likely become part of a premium plan to help support the channel. But, and this is the important part, any presets you create now, while it's all free, are yours to keep and use forever. So it's the perfect time to check it out on the web, play with all the features, and build out your perfect setup at no cost. If you enjoyed this problem and want to keep practicing, the learning doesn't have to stop here. I've organized all my video solutions into handy playlists. Whether you're looking to grind through more Leetcode easy, medium, or hard problems, or you want to master a specific topic like sliding window or dynamic programming, I've got a playlist for you. It's the perfect way to focus your study sessions. Go to the playlist tab and find a playlist that fits your goals. Also, if you're looking for even more Leetcode problems beyond the daily challenge, I've started a second channel called Leetcode Unlocked. It's where I'll be posting solutions to a ton of other problems. So if you're serious about your interview prep, be sure to check it out. The link is in the description below. Hope this Leetcode solution breakdown made sense. If it helped, give that like button a click, maybe subscribe for more, or drop a comment if you have questions. Make sure to turn on the notification bell so you know straight away when I upload a video, because I upload videos daily. If you want to support the channel, a few people have asked how I plan my solutions. I'm a big fan of sketching out the logic and data structures on a tablet before I code. It really helps. I've put affiliate links in the description to the tablet I use and a few other good options. Using those links doesn't cost you anything extra but really helps me out. Or, if you're feeling generous, there's always the Boba Fund. Keep coding, and I'll catch you in the next one.